Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is January 1st, 2021, which is like crazy to me because I feel like 2020 was like so slow, but like so fast at the same time. You know what I mean? Today's video is gonna be 10 books that I want to read in this new year. So this list is in no particular order. I kind of just compiled a list. I will say the first one that I'm reading is The One Thing. I don't have the cover of it. Oops. It's by Gary Keller and J. Papasan, and Gary Keller is actually like the founder of Keller Williams Realty, one of the founders of Keller Williams Realty, and that's the brokerage that I work for, so it's pretty cool. This was like the first book that was recommended to me by my parents, like when I first got into real estate, and it's I mean, it's not like based on real estate, but it's essentially about how you need to focus on like one specific goal, task, or whatever at one time, because like the opening of the book says, if you chase two rabbits you won't catch either one. Success is the result of like narrowing your concentration into one thing, and like it's built sequentially, so like one step at a time basically. Don't focus your energy into like 500 different things, because you may be like doing all these different things and multitasking, but in reality like you're spreading yourself thin and you're not giving those things like your full energy and attention and focus. So those things, 500 things that you're focusing on, aren't gonna be the best possible results. Whereas if you focus on one thing fully 110%, you know, all your energy and time and focus is going into that one thing, so it's going to be spectacular. So the next book on my list is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and this book I've seen on my Pinterest, on TikTok, on Instagram even, and like basically it's about like identifying and changing the self-sabotaging habits that we have that are like not letting us reach our full potential. I'm assuming how to fight past your fears and just like take risks and, you know, do the damn thing. It's the importance of like setting big goals and how to get there, and just like really believe, like understanding your potential and truly like believing that you can do these things, right? You are a badass. The next book I have on my list is Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. And this book is about how to establish healthy boundaries in your life, whether it is with, you know, your significant other or friends, family, work, anything really, just how to set boundaries in general. It tells you the importance of setting these boundaries and how it builds like respect for yourself and others. Boundaries are, your view on boundaries are kind of like how you were raised in your childhood, and like how your parents create boundaries, correct? Like, no, you can't do this. Yes, you can do this. Oh, this is how we do it here in my house, blah, blah, blah. It just explains the, I guess, process of building boundaries and like the importance really of having like healthy relationships and balance in your life. The next book on my list is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and this book is a Greek mythology book, and it's kind of like a love story. People were saying it's like super heartbreaking, and it's about like the Trojan War and the battle between like gods and kings and peace and glory and all that stuff, and there's just like this giant twisted love story about the son of a god and like the daughter of a goddess who got kidnapped. The goddess got kidnapped and stuff, and it's just like their journey in the war in general. So growing up, I absolutely loved Greek mythology. Like Percy Jackson was my shit. And like elementary school, me and my cousin, we would have our own like little like notebooks and journals, and we would write our own Greek mythology story, I guess. Like I remember my character was the goddess of Artemis, and my name was Carmen. Literally wrote like 5 chapters of this like Greek mythology book. So the next book on my list is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl, and this book is written in 1946, or published in 1946, and it's a memoir of like Viktor's experiences in Nazi Germany, and he was in 4 different concentration camps, one of which was Auschwitz. And the book is broken up into 2 parts. So the first part is about his experiences in the concentration camps and how he observed other people and how him and those around him got through like this awful, horrendous time I could not even imagine. But basically he noticed how like if people had meaning or purpose and like basically like a will to live, motivation and desire, something to look forward to, they were able to like keep going, you know, every day, like just like hell on earth. The second part of the book is about the therapy that he developed afterwards called logotherapy or logotherapy. It's the psychology of how like when somebody has a meaning to life, it helps they're better able to cope and more motivated, I guess. You know what I mean? I think it would just be interesting to read about how his experiences shaped him and how like I'm a big fan of psychology too, so literally the psychology he developed based off of his experiences and what he observed. I think that's really interesting. The next book on my list is called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. This book is about the importance of like self-image, I guess, and like self-confidence to our well-being and success. Everybody was saying this book is like a good way to like pull yourself out of a slump. You're kind of like feeling down and like not very confident in your abilities. This book is like a good way to build yourself back up, basically. The 3 key points are the story you tell about yourself and your personality like affects how you act. So what you say is what you are, you know, and that's kind of like how you are, the people you hang out around, like how you present yourself is how your brain believes you are, and therefore that's how you're going to act. The second key point is that there are 7 main components for a positive like personal image. And it's just kind of like how to tap into your subconscious mind and like rewire your brain to be more productive and successful and more confident in your abilities in general. The third key point is your highest potential can be unlocked as you learn to take care of yourself and your emotions and just like understand who you are, basically. The next book on my list, I've heard so much. I've been wanting to read this book for so long. It's Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book has been so highly recommended for a while. But the book is about how to break down goals, build habits, and just be successful, I guess. How to make time for new habits and how to create like a routine, a habit-based routine. The importance of like routine, even like small little baby tasks or habits every single day is super important to get you where you want to go. If you want better results, then instead of focusing on goals, focus on routine and like systems that will get you where you want to go. Because you can have this goal that's like, goals are great to know where you're going, but then you also have to build the path to get there, you know what I mean? So here's your goal, but this from point A to point B, this is the system and the routine that you have to do. The next book on my list is called Dry by Augusten Burroughs, and it's a memoir of his experience with alcoholism and just addiction in general. So he was like an alcoholic, frequently hungover at work, and his coworkers were like, okay, you need to go to rehab. So he went to rehab for 30 days, met a few people. He had a friend beforehand too, Pighead, I think. It tells about his like time in rehab and then coming back home, being back in an environment where it's real easy to relapse, and it's about the people he meets and their experiences too, and like how it affected him and all that stuff. So it seems like it's gonna be one of those real raw books that just like tells it how it is. This is like, you know, just really insightful, I guess. I don't know. A lot of people liked it because of his writing style. He's very like funny and he has a lot of personality and stuff. So it kind of like keeps you hooked if you are not as into the storyline. But the next book on my list is called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And this book is kind of similar to You Are a Badass, I feel like. Well, not really, more like Atomic Habits. It's about how your routine creates success, right? So you can have goals, you can set goals, but your routine and the actions that you take, you know, the needle moving steps are really what's gonna get you there. Habits work in 3-step loops, which is cue, routine, and then reward. The cue is what triggers you to do the habit. The routine is the behavior you then like automatically do. You know what I mean? So there's the cue, and that's what triggers the behavior, which is the routine. And then after you've done your routine, you give yourself a reward. Willpower is the most important habit you can have, right? You can have these big goals and stuff, but if you don't actually have the motivation or the willpower to hold yourself accountable, the accountability aspect of it, then you can have these goals, but you're never doing anything to actually get there. So they are just goals and dreams, you know what I mean? The last book on my list is called The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton and Laura Love Hardin. And this book is about how this man was wrongly convicted of murder and served 30 years on death row for a crime that it was pretty freaking obvious he did not commit. It took place in Alabama, and the jury was all white, and this man on trial was a black man. It just shows how corrupt our justice system really is. It follows him through like his 30 years and how like the first 3 he was super angry, mad at everybody, like couldn't understand like why he was in this position and how this happened. Like I feel like any other person was just extremely angry and like scared, not only to like serve time for a crime that you didn't commit, but to be put on death row as an innocent man. I could not imagine. How you can take away a man's freedom, but you can't take away his like joy and imagination. And like he had people coming to visit him regularly, like his mom and I think his brother or somebody, a male figure. I think it's really a really good book to read, especially right now, like this past year, just like the turmoil in general. Like obviously this has been an issue for literally hundreds and hundreds of years, but just like how blatant racism, like systemic racism is in our lives, like it's true, like, and especially in our criminal justice system like this. So it goes through like the court case and how like pretty much just blatantly obvious it was that he did not commit this crime. But yeah, so I'm excited to read that one. I feel like it'll be really good to just like Man's Search for Meaning, just to like dive into history a bit and to educate myself on things that don't necessarily affect me, but they affect other people in my life. So I feel like it would be a really good book for me to read to expand my mind. Those are my 10 books for 2021. I'm super excited. My first, like I said, they're in no particular order because I haven't ordered any of them, except for I have this one thing by Gary Keller and J. Papasan, which I'm going to start reading today. So yeah, I hope you like this video. This is my second time filming it because I feel like I just didn't have that much besides. I hope you like this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I post every Monday at noon. Last week though, I didn't post because my computer kept telling me that I was out of storage, so I went and was like deleting a whole bunch of pictures, and I guess somehow I deleted my entire like iMovie library. So all the videos that I had pre-filmed and the video that I was supposed to upload that day got deleted. I was just so upset. I couldn't even bring myself to like refilm or anything. So I just missed that week. But I'm back on track. This video is going up on Monday and I'll see you next Monday. But yeah, have a happy new year. Make sure you stay safe and healthy. And let me know if you've like read any of these books that I had on my list, or if you recommend any books. I'm all for psychology. I'm all for any type of book, honestly. Like I said, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.